Hey there, I'm Judy Croon. Welcome to the Judy Croon Show. Fridays, we like to do something a little different called Psychic Fridays, which are always really popular. I have a very special guest on the show. Believe it or not, I interviewed Patti about 10 years ago. Life got crazy and whatever. And I reached out to Patti. She's such an amazing person. She said, absolutely, I want to be on the show again. Patti Negri is the Good Witch and a psychic medium best known for her reoccurring role on Travel Channel and Discovery Plus's #1 show, Ghost Adventures, and YouTube's #1 paranormal show, Overnight. She's the international best-selling author of Old World Magick for the Modern World. She is the vice president of Paraflix.com and the headmistress and co-founder at UniversityMagicUs.com. Her work includes appearances on dozens of shows, from Portals to Hell and MasterChef to WipeOut and America's Got Talent. Influencers, YouTubers, and crossover talents like Lilly Singh, Good Mythical Morning, and AwesomenessTV have featured Patti's work. She has graced numerous magazine covers, contributed to over 20 books, and conducted seances on radio, film, and TV. Patti has worked with legends like Emma Stone, Jon Voight, Josh Duhamel, Chevy Chase, and Gregory Hines. She recently launched her second weekly podcast, The Witches Movie Coven, in conjunction with her popular weekly podcast, The Witching Hour. Patti, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. That was a mouthful. So I was like, gosh, I do a lot.
You
It's so
do a
good to
lot. You
see me.
do. Now, the thing that I didn't have there in your credit, when we chatted 10 years ago, you were nominated and then you won, like, I can't believe this, like top psychic medium in the world, or maybe I'm saying that wrong, but it was quite a title that you had.
Yeah,
Um,
it was I won it a few years in a row. A
wow.
publisher, Times Square Press, held the contest, and it was not a popularity contest because it was,
Of course.
but people voted from all over the world. So I was up against everybody in India and the UK and Japan and everything. So I don't know how I got in there, but I did for a few years in a row while they did that contest.
That
And
is, that's amazing.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's pretty great. They don't do that anymore. So I had to retire with me, right?
Damn, damn. Well, you know what? You're obviously very busy. I don't know where you would have time to fit anything else in. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for you being on the show because your schedule is crazy. Now, first of all, this is the most important thing. You're still based in Los Angeles, correct?
I am. I am right in Hollywood, right under the Hollywood sign. I live in the Hollywood Hills, which was a little scary a couple weeks ago when the hills were burning,
Of
but we made it
course.
through. Yeah, I'm still based here, but I do travel a lot between filming and then I do a lot of speaking with my books and paranormal conventions and spiritual things. So last year alone, I had 35 trips. So I
Wow.
waved
Wow.
goodbye to my husband a lot, and I spent a lot of time at 35,000 feet in a, like, where am I? Romania, where am I? Australia, where am I? Wales. It's great. I love
Incredible.
it every day.
Can you explain to folks who perhaps haven't listened to Psychic Friday before or aren't really aware of this incredible talent that you have, the difference between there's some people who are just psychic, some people who I understand are just mediums, but you're a psychic medium. Can you explain the difference?
Yes, the way I explain it is a psychic is someone who can see through time and space a little bit, probability. See, my witch side actually overpowers my psychic side. Like, ooh, there's a good chance you'll be married 3 times, or I see 3 husbands in you, or you're going to get hit by a bus on Tuesday. I would rather, I would say, there's a good chance. It's the cards say the universe says you could be married 3 times, but if you want to skip the first two, don't marry your daddy.
Right.
Something like
Right.
you see you see past, present, future. That's what a psychic does. A medium is someone who could speak to the other side. Deceased loved ones, spirit guides, elementals, all those things that don't live on our corporeal, our little realm of things. So in my experience, and it certainly could be wrong, all mediums are psychic. they have that ability, but not all psychics have developed their mediumship. I think they can.
Ah.
But if you've developed your mediumship skill, you probably can do that psychic thing.
So I guess the number one question on everybody's mind right now, and if you don't have an answer, that's completely fine. What is happening to the planet going forward? I mean, obviously things have really changed politically, changed the climate change, all of that. What kind of good news can you give us going forward, or how can we at least protect ourselves from all the changing elements? It seems there always seems to be something every day.
Every day, I know, and I hide. I can't watch news. I don't want to become an ostrich and hide my head in the sand. But if I turn on the TV and I see what's going on in the country, I can't. I can't. So I have to find that nice balance. We are in a time of chaos. I'm not an astrologer, so I can't go into the astrology of things. But we are in a time of chaos and huge shift. I thankfully am the internal optimist, and I think we're going to go through a bunch of rough things to get to a positive shift. But the divide between almost good and evil is just huge right now. So I think, again, so more and more, like what you even do with your show and your site, and what I am, whether I'm on a silly television show or working with my YouTubers, it's like bringing awareness, bringing consciousness, integrity, virtue, this stuff. And a lot of it has to do not even with our planet. We have to save our planet, literally.
I
I,
know.
I remember 20 years ago, Al Gore told us exactly it was going to be like this. No one
Hmm.
listened.
Yeah,
Fire that rage, tornadoes where they've never been, and hurricanes, and this, and the heat wave and cold wave, exactly what he said. And we have to listen now. And some of us are. That's why I think I'm very elemental in my magical practice. And more people are discovering that, because that's going to bring in the balance. People are discovering fairies. And I mean, whether you think they're real little flying things, I personally do, but you don't have to. That energy of fairy. People who don't even necessarily believe in it, like, are not in my weird, wacky world, like, I saw a gnome. Yeah, they're real. And we need to look down again. We need to take care of, this is it. Without this little earth, we're not all going to get on, Elon Musk's starship for Mars. We're not. We need
exactly.
to take care of this.
Exactly. Do you see a time frame in terms of, because I gotta be honest, I do see more people sort of being aware
Yeah.
or starting to, I don't know if all of a sudden now with things as bad as they seem sometimes, the people are reaching out to other sources, right? But a question that a lot of people have asked me is, well, yeah, do the people that you talk to, I mean, how long do they, like, for total skeptics who didn't believe in psychics, didn't believe in mediums, suddenly they want to know. They want to know the answer, And I say, well, I'll ask. So I'll just ask. I'll just put it out there. How long do you see that window before we have a more of a global consciousness that we can start moving forward positively together?
I think that's extra shifty, but you do see it happening. Even like you see the stuff, even though some of it's a little too oversimplified and a little the witch talk or TikTok and the manifestation of the, but it's awareness, and that's what we need. And if we could go this trajectory, getting faster and faster, we can do it. But I must say, the other side, the anger and the hate and the control, is kind of it's a race. It's a horse race. But I do believe light beats dark. You bring a candle into a room, you bring in the light, even though it makes you see those scary shadows that are dancing everywhere from that candle. You see the dark stuff in the corner. We have to bring a light on it. As time wise, that's up to us. We have to be out there. We have to be vocal and verbal and come from this love and heart pace. We need to come together. It can't be this divide, red versus blue, light versus dark. What if we found some middle ground somewhere and start there and then move? The Libra in me, and like, somewhere we must agree on something. Let's start there. Maybe with that could be our planet.
Yes.
I'm hoping within the next, again, I'm almost afraid to say anything, because we do manifest what. So I'm going to go really quickly. Within the next couple of years, I think it's going to be a swing of the pendulum. All of a sudden, we are penduluming in the wrong direction, the way I look at it. And it's going to get so far that people are going to go, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. And let us pendulum it back. And again, that is what's happening. And I do it's people are, because we know when times are scary, and times have always been scary. Times have always, the plague and it's just now times are scary in a world of 24/7 bombardment of news. You can't even go to the airport and not see the news on the thing, and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and everything. Times have always been scary, but it's in our face now. Traditionally, people would go back when they get scared, they go back to their faith, they go back to church or to temple. It's like, okay, I'm scared. That's not holding up for everybody. So therefore, it's like, well, I was Christian, but I'm gay in my church. So that's why the alternative religions, witchcraft is the largest growing religion in America, New Agers and the crystals and the love and the light and all this elemental stuff. But there's a whole group of people who, I don't even want that. I'm just so scared. I just want to know if I get knocked off by aliens or Russia or China, it's not the end. I don't want, it's not what I see on the TV every day. But I don't want this woo-woo stuff. Those people are becoming paranormal investigators. They want to go on a ghost hunt just to know. It's like, I don't want this spiritual religion. So they go on a ghost hunt, a public thing, or watching Ghost Adventure on my show. And they go, and then they discover, oh, wow, this is real. And if there's hope, it's like, oh, I could talk to dead people. And then often they will backdoor into either their faith or a new faith, something so they can navigate. To me, your belief system is a roadmap so you can navigate through life, whatever it is. So whichever one works for you is the one that works.
Well said. Now you've graced shows like Ghost Adventures, America's Got Talent. What's one of your most memorable or transformative on-camera moments?
Oh, that's as far as that's a really good question. No one has ever asked me that question. I think again, it's about the empowerment. I think the arc of what it is doing is how I beat the odds with empowerment. I had all these health issues. I'm not going to go into that. It's in my first book. That I was a victim and I had health issues between 15 and 30. And by the time I was 30, I was told by the American medical establishment that I would be dead by 50. All cancers and brain tumors, and if I wasn't dead, I would be in a wheelchair. And so instead of buying into that, I did what the doctors say, but I said, no, I'm not going to be sick anymore. And I stopped getting sick at 30. So at 50, instead of being dead or in a wheelchair as promised, I wanted to prove what powerful beings we were. So I decided to try. I live in Hollywood, the world's hardest obstacle course. I beat 100,000 and got on WipeOut. The world, again, I did those big red bulbs, scariest, hardest, most painful, most empowering thing I've ever done, using my magic positive belief system manifestation. So I beat 100,000 healthier, stronger people than me. And to say that, to do that where I was supposed to be dead or something, that was it. And then to prove that, that's why I did the master. I went, okay, that could be a fluke. It's not a fluke because I did manifestation magic. I want to prove, what else can I do? I did the physical thing. Well, I can't cook. My husband, I got kicked out of home ec in high school. My husband, well, I'm going to cook for Gordon Ramsay using my philosophy of magic and so next thing, I beat way more than 100,000 people, and I'm on MasterChef season 3, playing the witch card, doing magical cooking. I didn't last long because I do not know what saute means. And Gordon Ramsay, but I wanted to prove that we could do anything we believe we can do, health-wise, money-wise, love-wise.
What was Gordon Ramsay like? I mean, how did he accept the whole magic angle?
He's kind of a big teddy bear, because you spent like weeks sequestered. That's never on air. You don't even have room, because that's what these kind of national game shows are. He's afraid of ghosts. He was really cute, and I brought in. I don't know. I kind of really like him. You know, he's got his persona. He's got his brand that he is. But I love the little sweat dripping down, beating his head when I was telling him, yes, the MasterChef kitchen is haunted. Well,
You told him the Master Chef kitchen was haunted. What was it haunted by?
spirits before it was the Master Chef kitchen. It was like almost like other building, kind of a warehousey stuff, and some of that was there. And again, big energy, big in life, big in death. That's why you go like on the shows, we go to like the crazy prisons and the insane asylums, but I like the happy ghosts at the, Hollywood Roosevelt hanging from the chandelier. But Bob the quiet banker, if he's going to hang out at the bank, he's going to be a quiet ghost. Go to those mining towns where they're big. But he was really cute. And then I just wanted to prove it, I could do it again. So I wanted, okay, I did the cooking thing, could be a fluke. I did the physical thing. So one more time. That's why it's like, what show do I absolutely have no business doing? I'm not that kind of talented. I mean, I dance, I did this, but and America's Got Talent, I'm like, next thing I know, I'm rolling on the floor beating again. When my audition, I was at LA Convention Center. I was like number 5,000,
Hmm.
and they went to every convention center in the US. So we could do anything we believe we can do.
What did
And
you do on America's Got Talent?
I made a fool of myself. Most bad. I decided to play the psychic card instead of the cooking, magical cooking. I psychically read Howie Mandel's dog.
What did you say?
Well, I knew, again, you got to have a sense of humor, and I lead in with that. I knew it was going to be a bit of a cluster, because
Hmm.
all my week auditioning, and you're going through your interviews and audition. They were having me read his little Chihuahua dog, this cute little Chihuahua dog, and work it. And then we get there to the big Dolby Theater where they do it, and they're going, "Okay, Patty, now we're going to use a different dog. You're his other dog, his kid's dog. Okay, now." Now, I want you, when you're on stage, we want you to get down to the dog's level, get down low. And we want you to get Howie up on stage with you, make this real personable. And make sure Howie gets down to the dog's level with you. And I'm thinking, okay, we're going to have a disaster here.
Hmm.
It's way bigger than the Chihuahua. This bulldog comes running out, which they knew exactly how it was going to be. And the dog jumped. We're kneeling, we're crouching down on the floor, and the dog jumps on him. We are rolling around on the floor, wrapped up in a leash. And I'm yelling at Howie, going, it's a cockfight, it's a cockfight," because he was this male ego thing that I was trying to
Hmm.
pick him up. But then you can't pick up Howie Mandel because he has that. This was pre-COVID. He has that germ thing that you can't touch.
Right.
Hysterical. It was really funny.
So,
Yeah.
really, in answer to the question, your most memorable and transformative on camera moments have been for you. Like, from what you're telling me, you manifested being on these shows, like a Wipeout. Are you kidding me? The big red balls. Anytime I see that, I'm like, how do people do that? And then you get on, you're on Gordon Ramsay's show, you're on MasterChef, America's Got Talent. That's incredible. So you must have had these talents, I'm guessing, ever since you were little, which leads me to my next question. Can you share the moment or experience that first set you on your journey into psychic mediumship and magic?
I it has been with me since before I started kindergarten. I was talking to spirits and energies and elementals. I thought everybody could. I actually think kids do have the gifts. It just gets taught out of us in our
Mm.
modern, Western, non-mystical, complete left brain focused world where, oh, that's your imaginary friend. I knew they weren't imaginary friends because they had real information and they gave me. And it just luckily didn't get taught out of me. My mom just going, yeah, grandma did that too. Grandma could see that too. Grandma could
Mm.
get taught out. And I was always obsessed with the dead, but it wasn't in a dark or morbid way at all. I just knew they had a lot to say. So I literally did my first seance, which is one of the things I'm known for. I was 7 or 8 in my little suburban Los Angeles home. I went in the hall where there was no windows and lights and stuck towels under the door. Realized I didn't know dead people. I'm like Marilyn Monroe and whoever I knew at 7 or 8. And the room filled with orbs and lights and shadows and sounds. And I was jumping up and down as I ran out screaming, going, this is it. It's real and we can control it. And I studied it my entire life.
So, first of all, that's totally amazing. I'm completely blown away. But I now have to ask you, so what core principles or lessons do you emphasize for those people who are just beginning to explore magic and psychic development? Because you said that it can be developed, right?
Yes, it's learning to dance. We have our left logical brain, which we need. Stop at red lights, go to work. That right creative, intuitive, spiritual side is you have to allow that to develop. Because again, we've had so much focus on left brain. Even my local elementary school, no one would send their kids there because it was horrible, the lowest 10 percentile of Los Angeles schools. So the people from the hills wouldn't send their kids there because it was bad. You had to go to private school. My neighborhood going, we don't want to go to private school. I don't even have kids, but we want to send our kids to our public school, much more urban, much more ethnically mixed, and we want to go there. We did not, but bad math, bad English, bad reading and writing skills. We brought in art classes, dance, photography, gardening. We brought these little, mostly immigrant kids and whatever. This now a school of excellence. We did not change the math and reading teacher. We just opened them up to their creative side. Then the kids are doing improv exercises, feeling good about themselves, and now they can learn 1 + 1 = 2 and step into it. And for our magical self, for trusting it's shutting down that chatty. You can go, wow, I'm thinking about grandma a lot. I think grandma might be standing behind me. Just go with that, going, hi, grandma. Maybe burn a candle, say, make the candle dance. And not that little left brain side, oh, this grandma's not behind you. That's ridiculous. Somebody just opened a window. Just hold back that skeptic. If you want to just say, no, I'm going to go with grandma. In 2 hours, if you want to test yourself, was that really grandma or was that indigestion? Do it then. It's just, there's millions of simple exercises. I teach that in my school, how to learn to trust that intuition. And then once you do get into this magical world, it's just really also developing your sense of integrity, virtue, ethics, moral code, because you have to. When you take fate into your own hand and you're willing to change fate, you have to know what is right and what is wrong. And if you don't, you're going to get into trouble. But most of us do have an innate sense of moral code, not morality, who does what with who, but moral code, right and wrong. And then when you have that, you could change the world.
And hopefully we will all change the world, right?
Right away.
We are going to. We're doing it.
Downhill faster and faster and faster and faster. And I really do, because I'm seeing more and more. Again, we have to judge the world by social media, and I'm just seeing it. Again, maybe it's a little oversimplified in some areas, and maybe it's a little, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's make people, it's awareness. We have to be aware. Otherwise, we're sheep. We don't want to be phoned in, asleep at the wheel, by rote, automatic pilot, all these terms we use. No, wake up.
Well, and just going back to developing your skills, your psychic abilities, or your school, for example, there are people who will say, well, I don't believe in psychic mediums. I don't believe in psychics. I don't believe in witches. But those people, even the most skeptical people, have to agree that they have intuition, that they have a gut feeling. And that's kind of, it's like, as you said earlier, go with that. What's that feeling? What is it? Go with it. And too many times our right bright side gets, our right bright creative side gets overshadowed by the left logical skeptical side that goes, no, that's ridiculous. I'm going to look like a fool, right? So I like what you said. It's going with it, going with that feeling and trusting it.
Yeah. And you don't have to believe in psychics or mediums or anything. It's just, we do have intuition. It's natural. Animals, they have their instincts and intuition. And again, it just got taught out of us because we were so focused on just the logic. We need it both. We need the balance.
Now, before we wrap up, folks, I'm on the phone with Patti Negri. Again, I'm going to give you her website, pattinegri.com. You can find her on Instagram. You can find her on YouTube, all over social media. I'm going to include the links as podcast. But before we wrap up, Patti, if you feel comfortable, would you mind giving me a quick reading? I mean, I'd love to experience your unique insight firsthand. Just a mini reading, just one thing.
You're really, I'm feeling it from your belly up. You're at a crossroads of kind of stepping into something really good. You've got to be feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
and could be a little frustrating but what I'm hearing is don't be afraid of making wrong choices. To me, that being at this crossroads of, I keep looking at my microphone over here. It's like it goes on a dial, 0 to 10, 0 to volume. You're a dial it up girl, obviously. I've known you for dial it up gal. A couple areas you've had to dial down a little. It's time to crank it back up. So to me, being in the crossroads, it's like you're standing in the hall with the door hitting you in the butt, and there's 3 doors ahead of you. These are my mountains, desert, and oceans. Not really. But don't be the only wrong choice is to not make a choice because you're afraid of making a choice. I'm going to the mountain. Oh, it is too cool. Now I'm going to go to the desert. Oh, it's too hot. Now I'm going to go to the ocean. I see. Take the windy road. You don't have to be on the interstate going straight through. It's time for you to get the scenic view. Don't you feel that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're totally right. And you know what? We will stay in touch. Like, I love having you on my show. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And thank you for what you do and the awareness and the fun and everything that you bring to everybody. So anytime.
Well, this is all, it's all important. Like, as you said, it's about awareness. It's about getting people on board. And I like your energy and your message. So people, come on, we got to work on this. We got to get everybody back on the light side. So Patti Negri, pattinegri.com. And you can go to her website, pattinegri.com. I will include the link. You can again see her on Instagram. She's all over Instagram, YouTube, all of her websites and links, but I will include those. And in the meantime, once again, Patti, thank you for joining us on Psychic Friday.
Thank you, Judy.